Hey, Nick, Saquon's on pace for, I think it's 377 touches this year. Where are you on kind of monitoring that? And I know you give him some Wednesdays off practice, but do you kind of get concerned about that number when it gets real high?
Again, you try to take care of them. You try to do what you need to do to win each and every football game. You try to take care of them throughout the week. I think that, the two games, not obviously not last game, but the game before that and the game before that, we were able to get him out in the fourth quarter. You try to monitor as much as you possibly can, and that's really our jobs: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and being aware of it, on Sunday. But always considering that with each and every one of our players that we feel with load management. And I think our strength and conditioning staff and our trainers and our doctors give me really good insight to how to do that, and give our staff really good insight on how to do that. So, always on our mind, with how many touches he has.
Well, I'd say no, like the edge rushers their snap counts are actually they're way lower. I think Josh has the highest snap count for any one game, like 42 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Has that been last year? They played a ton of snaps.
Sure, and that's the flow of the game. Like last game was 53 snaps. I think last year we had a game with like 90 something against Buffalo. All right, so that plays into it. So, yeah, I mean that's you're trying obviously to think. You're thinking about that with everybody, but not every position has rotations, right? Offensive line don't rotate. Defensive line does. Running backs do. But the flows of the game, the way the game's being played, right, that can dictate a lot of different things. So it's every season's not apples to apples. I know it's the same amount of games, but every game's a little bit different and how the games are kind of playing out. So we also are aware of that, and I think that's good for our guys, and I think that's good that our depth has that we're able to do those things at defensive end.
Why did you guys ultimately not make a trade before the deadline?
I think that'd be a good question for Howie. I know you don't get him until the end of the year, but I really, as speaking on my end of it, I really feel really strongly about our team and where we are. When talking through all those different things, I just feel so strongly about our team and how he's done a great job of building it to date that didn't feel like at that time that there was anything to do. So. I feel really good about the people that we have here, the guys that we have here. Feel strong about the depth at the starters at the position and the depth at that position. So that speaks for the work that Howie and his staff have done, from the draft till now, really at the end of the day.
This franchise, what's Bryce Huff's role going forward?
Yeah, still be in the mix and in the rotation of the rushers. Again, I think the ability to with Jimmy's question of less rush reps for some of those guys. Yeah, it's one part of it is that we played a little bit less plays, but also that we feel good about the rotation. I think all four of those guys have done a nice job, and then we'll see if Jalek's getting into the mix as well. I think he's been doing a good job at practice to be able to go that. So we feel like we have five guys in that rotation that can get after the passer, that can crush the edge on the run. And so I got a ton of faith in him. Like I said, you guys know that he had something going on, after warm-ups last week, and but that's just the way that game went and how he was feeling, and I got a ton of confidence in him and in the things that he can do.
This franchise has lost 6 in a row in Dallas. You've been here for 3 of them. Every year is a new team, but what do you make of this franchise's struggles down there recently, and how eager are you to snap that?
Yeah, you're always eager to get out there and win the next football game. I think the way I feel about the team, obviously we haven't won there since I've been here, but like I kind of look at this the same way as like New Orleans when the same question was provided for us in New Orleans. Like, hey, yeah, you guys haven't won there since whenever. Merrill made it very clear that we hadn't won in Cincinnati ever with the awesome voice that he has. And that doesn't mean anything to us. Like if you're worried about, like, unless it was something like the weather or the the dome or what, that was like, you felt like we just got to go out there and play a good game against a good football team, and handle their crowd and their noise and, things that we do for any football game. But, we're treating this week like every other week. We're looking to get better this week to give ourselves the best chance to win, and against a really good opponent.
Are you expecting?
The defense has been really good since the bye week. Is there one thing you would attribute that to, like it clicking, coming together? What do you think that is?
Yeah, I think just everybody continuing to be on the same page. A defensive football, at the end of the day, and I think Vic calls a really good game, week in and week out. That's why he's one of the better defensive coordinators in the NFL. But defensive football is always going to be about tackling. It's always going to be about, physicality. It's always going to be about being on the same page, and it's always going to be about relentless effort, getting to the football and playing team defense. And we're just getting better at that. I think that we're getting better as a football team, because of the way that we're practicing, and just the way we're meeting, the way we're walking through. You can see signs of us just getting better with our tackling, getting better with our ball security, getting better with the way we, we're on the same page. It's like just these, it's like there's no secret to success. Like the secret to success is work your butt off, have good people in place, work your butt off, and try to get better each week and control the things you can control. And so I got a ton of confidence in the defensive staff, of how they've been getting these guys better. Bobby King is you want to talk about somebody that's so focused in on the fundamentals, all he cares about is getting these guys better at tackling. All he cares about is getting these guys better at block destruction. All he cares about is getting these guys on the same page. All he cares about is how the guys come out there and try to take the football away. And so I think that's a buy-in from everybody. Because we know fundamentals is how we reach another level, and it's just not how you do team periods, it's how you drill, it's all those things. And I think that's, there's a price to pay for success, and it's working hard.
Are you expecting to get Dallas or Slay back, and do you have an update on AJ?
Yeah, we'll see on all that. You guys will get an injury report on that later today. We'll see how today goes and where we are. We still got a little bit of time before practice, so we'll see where they are.
What is Bobby King bringing to the off-ball line? I mean, specifically,
Yeah,
you made a change. You made 3 changes at that.
Man,
One you had to.
I think that again, I think that Bobby is. Have you guys talked to Bobby?
Yeah, not in a while.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to work with Bobby with the Chargers, and this guy is a relentless worker. And like I said, I just find him somebody that he's always thinking about how he gets players better. Like we missed something in the game, and without getting too much into it, he's like, hey, here's how I got to drill this. Here's what I'm thinking here, and I admire that. I admire okay. The linebacker missed this, and he's thinking what he can do to help them be better at that. That's coaching. That's why we as coaches put everything on our plate when something goes wrong on the field, because we have the opportunity to provide them the things that we think they need to get better at, and then the opportunity to do so. And so I really admire about that. He is he puts that, you guys see it, I don't know if he puts that vest on, and they strike the crap out of him. They put their hands on him. He's jarring his back. He's going to be, I'm assuming he only got so many more years of letting them hit him in his chest, because it's probably been happening for a long time. But he's obsessive about, and they'll hit the crap out of him. And he'll be like, nope, that was too bendy, or that was too, strike, whatever it is. And so I admire that he's always trying to get them better fundamentally. As a position coach, the coordinator, it's a group effort when you're coming up with a plan. There is no doubt about that. You take inputs from everybody. But as a coordinator, as a position coach, your biggest job, your most important job is how do you get those players better at their fundament. And you got all different types of players, and it's how do you get those guys better fundamentally? How do you get those guys to understand their job more? And that's where I'm, knew that about Bobby, and seeing it, firsthand as he's, continued to grow in his coaching. And I can't say enough good things about him.
think across the board you're getting a higher level of coaching from your position coaches this season?
I think that I've really been pleased, throughout, as far as our position coaches throughout the time we've had here. We've had a lot of success, and that success, is contributed through the entire organization. First and foremost, how we getting the guys in here to, giving us the talent here to help us, do our jobs at a very high level. The players making the plays, and the position coaches and the coordinators, doing their job to get them better. I'm not going to compare one to the other. I think that, like I said, we've had a lot of success, won a lot of games, and everyone shares in that, those successes. And so, but to say, the guys that we have now love our coaches that we have. Like, I've been with Jason Michael for, this is 7 years. Like, I got so much confidence that the type of coach he is, and Aaron Moorhead, right, going back to when he did an internship with us for Indy, and now, him being the wideout coach, and Jamal Singleton, didn't know him before we got here. We hit a home run with Jamal, and I love what Clint's bringing to the table as far as, how he's gotten the defensive tackles better. Wash has been here. Wash is one of the guys and Stout, guys that were here. And I think we got really good position coaches that a lot of them can be coordinators and have been coordinators, and they know how to get guys better. And I could go on. I want to be able to say everybody's name, but I'm really pleased with the guys that we have here right now. And they're doing a great job. They work their butts off. They have relationships with these players, so the players trust them, and they're getting our players better. And that is very obvious.
Nick, along those lines, is there an example from your career in the NFL where maybe you or another coach really helped change the way a guy who had been in the league for a while was doing something and improving? The idea being that a guy who's been in the league a while is kind of set in his ways, and yet a coach was able to, really help him improve.
Yeah, I think that what players want from you is as a position coach, as a coordinator, is getting, how do you get them better? And I've never really run into a guy that's like, nope, this is how I do it, and I'm not doing it any other way. Because and why is that? I think the reason that is that, you provide them, you show them that you know what you're talking about, and you provide them an opportunity to get better. They get better, and then you got them hooked, I guess to say, right? And so I haven't experienced that, and I get that happens, but we feel like, we do some things I have not experienced that. I guess I've been around really good guys, and again, like I said, what are you doing to get them better? And that's got to be the first and foremost. And if we're not doing anything to get them better, then we're just their buddies. They're older buddies. I guess now I can say that I'm a little older as a coach now. And so our job is yes, to have a relationship with the players so we can get them better. But our job first and foremost is to get them better, and work tirelessly to do that through, like I said, with Bobby King, getting them better through drills and thinking of different things to help them, and the coaching points. And really it comes down to, as a position coach or as a coach, of being a bulldog, and not at some point, if we keep telling you the same thing, at some point, this guy's going to be relentless. If I keep messing this up, this guy's going to be relentless, and now I got to fix this because he ain't going to shut up about this. And there is something to that, being a bulldog. I know Stout's a bulldog. I know we got a lot of bulldogs on this staff where it's you mess something up, they're going to tell you, and it's not they're going to keep telling you over and over and over again.
Jalen Hurts said coming out of the bye week that it was one of the most efficient bye weeks he's ever had, and then he comes out and has played 4 very good games. Do you see anything that he's doing differently over this last month that he wasn't doing perhaps in the first month?
Yeah, again, the things that you do in the dark eventually show up in the light, and it's he worked his butt off, and he's been working his butt off. But it was a great bye week. Just the conversations, the film watching together, the collaboration of things, and he's played great football this past month. He's a great player, so you love when that happens, because again, you're constantly promoting, hey, make no mistake about why we're getting better. We're getting better because of the work. We're getting better because we're capable, because we have good players and good coaches in this room, but we're getting better because of the work. That doesn't matter if it's in practice, walkthrough, meetings, bye week. You get better because of the work, and it's such a long season, and you just want to continue that rise. And that's what Jalen's played really good this past month, and has done a great job taking care of football. Done a great job leading this team. I'm proud of how he's been going. I told John I'd get him. Go ahead, John.
With Callan, real quick, he's got a long history in that building. It's been a while, but and he knows them, they know him. Complicate things, help things, in your experience?
Yeah, you always are looking for any advantage that you can get in everything. I'm sure they are too. So we'll turn over every stone we possibly can. I'm sure they will as well. So sometimes you can get too much wrapped into that. And so it's like, hey, go through the process of what we do when we have information there, and use what we can. And it takes discernment, wisdom to know what to use and what not to use. And you do that through your studies and the tape and everything like that.
Thanks.